Guys, welcome back to the channel. You already know what it is. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's have a conversation in the comments. So we're gonna get right on into it and talk about the first episode of Beverly Hills.
Now I like dollars, I like diamonds, I like stunning, I like shining, I like $1 million deals. Where's my pen?
Let's just go on and get right into this episode. The premise of the episode starts off, or the whole storyline of the episode starting off, is Dorit unfortunately getting robbed at gunpoint. It was giving me Kim Kardashian embarrassed. When are these celebrities going to start realizing, stop always posting everything about your life? I'm not saying this is her fault, definitely not saying that, but again, giving me Kim Kardashian vibes in Paris. But let's go the whole timeline, or not timeline, all the characters. We had Kyle talking about how her daughter Portia is now thriving because during a pandemic she was sleeping through her classes, like a good amount of the kids were doing, and she was feeling like she was a bad mom. It's okay, Kyle, it's okay. We were all struggling. Then we have Sutton. Sutton is not my favorite character, and y'all will learn this. Sutton is not my favorite character. She's hanging out with Garcelle. I might slip up and call her Fancy because just her name in my head. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Google it. So Garcelle and her have this friendship. I don't understand why Garcelle has this friendship with Sutton, because she is so self-centered and obnoxious, and it shows in this episode. So then we have Dorit. You know, she was just coming back from some wedding in Europe, from what I understand. Then we have Crystal and Sutton have become friends now, but I don't really believe that's going to play out too well later on in the episodes, because Crystal and Sutton, they like oil and water, and they just playing nice just to play nice, but whatever. Then we have Lisa Rinna. Lisa Rinna's over here planning her husband's birthday party. Okay, they always say black don't crack, but Lisa Rinna's husband is about to, or now at this point is 70, but she was planning his 70th birthday. I did not know that man was 70 years old. I was like, wow. Okay. All right. You was using the butters. The genetics is kicking for the boy. Anyways, who else do we have? Oh, Erica Jane. Erica Jane is going through her divorce. Now she states that she is officially separated, and she is having loads of sex. Okay. All right. That's what we expected you to do. Men were lusting after you since you came on the scene, so this is nothing new. Anyways, let's get right on into it about these little things that stood out. We talked about Portia, or Kyle talking about Portia, saying now she's thriving, and she was having her bat mitzvah. She was having her bat mitzvah, and then she saw in her daughter that she saw a new change and a light in her eyes, and ever since then, her daughter has been thriving. That's wonderful to hear. Sutton and Garcelle, they're out in Miami. Garcelle is doing some charity event. She's talking to her sisters. Come to find out, she has 2 or 3 other sisters, and she didn't grow up with them. I don't know what that's about. I'm assuming we're going to dive in more into that for them to segue into that a little bit. The sisters were saying how they thought that their mother loved Garcelle more. That seems like that's some family drama, but hey, that's what TV is here for. Then we have Crystal talking about her unfinished basement. That's $500,000. the Beverly Housewives, they hit different than all the other housewives. What do we have? Oh, Sutton talking about how she's single and she wants to meet people. Okay. Dorit is coming back from Europe, as I stated, from a wedding, and she's having so much fun, and they're filming her watching her kids do this karate, and she's just loving it. Then Sutton, I mean, what's her name? Dorit has cameras on her house. So I'm not understanding what these burglars were doing. You don't think this place is well recorded? Anyways, so they burglarized her house. She said she heard a noise. She thought it was one of her kids. So she got up to go check on them. Come to find out, she said it was not a little person. It was a whole big person. And he said, get down, and put a gun to her head, and she was just scared crapless. She just kept on begging for her life. She was like, please, I'll give you anything. Please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt my kids. Please don't hurt my kids. Thankfully, nothing happened. She said they stole some things that can never be replaced, but that's fine. She's just so happy that her kids are alive and she's alive. So obviously, it hits the news. Everyone is getting their reactions, quote unquote, recorded of hearing Dorit has been robbed at gunpoint. Kyle is crying. Okay, that's your friend, you're crying. I'm not going to talk about that. So Sutton pulls up to her house and she's crying. She's like, oh, you're crying? Oh, okay. She's like, I have some cookies. I found these cookies in the car. And she's like, okay, what kind of cookies are they? So she gives her the box of cookies that she had in her car since yesterday. And then they start talking, and they're trying to talk about, obviously that's going to be the premise. That's what they're here to record, about Dorit's robbery. So obviously Kyle and Dorit are very close. So she's very close with her husband as well, PK. And she's saying like, oh, I was just on the phone with PK, and he was saying like he wished that he had came home earlier. He's just like, being emotional. Why did Sutton say, yeah, I had a lot of fires to put out too today? And she's like, oh, okay. What happened with you? She said, immigration. I'm trying to get this French designer to come in. My mouth dropped to the floor when this woman said that she had a lot of serious things to go through, like Dorit did, because she can't get immigration to get her French designer coming. When I tell you these Beverly Housewives hit different, they hit different. I'm telling you, they hit different. Okay. Whew. That had me on the floor. Thank God. Kyle was looking at her like she was crazy. Not even in her green screen, live. Like, she's like, I mean, I know it's probably like I didn't have a gun pointed to my head. And again, she's just like, how could you just say such things? Oh my goodness, craziness. So then there's the drama with Sutton. Just got issues with everybody, it seems. So then we have the drama with Sutton and Kyle. I'm sorry, what's her name? Lisa Rinna. We have the issues with Lisa Rinna because I guess she said on Watch What Happened Live that she took Lisa Rinna and her husband to some events, and the next day they never thanked her. Sutton said the reason why she said that was because Lisa Rinna took a shot at Garcelle, fancy, about like some sauce, and Garcelle never thanked her, and she blew her up on TV. Like, it was embarrassing. So now Lisa Rinna's sitting home watching Watch What's Happened Live, and she's like, where is this coming from? It's because Sutton wants to be a ride or die for Garcelle. And you sticking yourself into business that was not yours, baby girl. And it's going to come back to, I can see it's going to come back to bite you. So then Garcelle ends up, and they're like chilling the day after the little banquet that Garcelle was at. And Garcelle tells Sutton that she's going to go hang out with Erica Jane. Why did Sutton get upset and was like, I can't believe you're going to go hang out with her after everything she did to me? Everybody's friendship is not like yours, Boosh. Garcelle ain't worried about you like you worried about her, ready to defend her. Was she defending you those other times last season? No, baby girl. So I don't understand why she doing all this, but we're not going to talk about that too much. So Erica Jane and Garcelle, they go to work out. It's cute. Erica Jane is expressing about how happy she is that all these allegations have been proven untrue, but yet the blogs have not stated that they found out they're untrue, because the blogs were running with Erica's name, but now they're not saying anything, which I kind of see how that's true, because why would the blogs be trying to retract what they said? The blogs don't care. When they were doing their little green screen, the producer was asking Erica, where can we find this? I love Erica. I love her. She said Bravo needs to do their due diligence and research that. Okay, that's not for me to do. She's here for it. So then Garcelle proceeds to say, to Erica, are you going to apologize to Sutton? When she said that, I said it out loud. For what? What is she apologizing to her for? Then they rewind a clip from last season. I believe it was the last episode of Erica threatening Sutton, talking about, I'm going to come for you. And that Sutton had to get security for a week because she was so afraid. I don't know. I'm just not here for it. Anyways, so Erica's like, we all say crazy things, and she runs her mouth too much. So she needs to not pop her gums so much, and then she won't be afraid of people saying things. I'm not going to do anything to her. Garcelle's talk about how, yeah, I would be afraid if I was her too. What is Erica going to do? Like, what are you talking about? This is not Housewives of New Jersey. We don't have Teresa flipping tables. Had Teresa said something crazy like that, then I could understand like you being scared. But hey, I understand people are unpredictable. Sort of, kind of. So then it takes it back to they're having a dinner to like kind of comfort Dorit. And then PK was coming in that night. I guess he tried to hop on a flight. It's the evening of, and I don't get, like, do they not see each other throughout the year? Because when Erica sees what's her name's husband, Kyle's husband, she's like, you hurt my feelings. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And she said, oh yeah, when you were making those jokes, that was months ago. So I'm trying to figure out, like, you're just expressing that your feelings hurt because the cameras are on, but we're not going to talk about that. So then he apologizes, and they wake up nice, blah blah blah. Dorit comes, she's telling the story. I'm telling you that story, I had my mouth dropped. I was scared because when they first started saying like, oh, she was robbed, okay, I've never been robbed, so I can't say that I could put myself in her shoes, but the way she told that story, I was scared for her. Because I thought they were saying, like, oh, she could have been killed because it was a robbery. When she said they put the gun to her head, then I could understand why she was scared. So they're waiting for PK. You know, they're trying to console her. They're just like chit-chatting. Kyle's dogs just start barking, and that sets Dorit off. You can tell that she is still very much affected. Obviously, it's been less than 24 hours, but she is still very much affected. She's like, oh my God, go find out what that is. What the heck is going on? And she's like, my dogs always bark. It's okay. It's okay. She's like, no, go check. You have to go check. And then they console her and they're like, it's okay. It's okay. We have security. I guess she lives in a gated community, like not necessarily security as she stated. She has a doorman or a gateman or whatever. So that kind of eased her a little bit. Her husband comes. She's crying. Lisa Rinna proceeds to say, like, I don't even know if I want to have my husband's birthday party because of everything what you're going through. And PK's like, no. And my religion, we don't stop goodness for something bad that happened. We're going to have this party. So I am looking forward to next week's episode and the weeks after, because I can see that's going to get spicy. It's going to get spicy. And I can see that Sutton will not be everyone's cup of tea. She was never really anyone's cup of I shouldn't say anyone. She's clearly Garcelle's cup of tea. But I can tell she's definitely not going to be everyone's flavor as much. I don't even see her really being on next season. I'm putting it out there. I said it first. Mark my word. Anyways, you know what to do. Hit that like. Let's have a conversation. Drop some comments. And if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe. Have a great day, y'all.